Hello, vlog people! Well, it's Ask Sam Day. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done this because I've been very occupied. And that reminds me, I want to thank you so much for the extraordinary congratulations messages that I've received on here. It's truly warmed my heart. It's just been an outpouring of happiness for us, and it makes me very happy. We're doing very well. Life is good. Life could not be better, except Cooper hasn't pooped in 3 days. Well, 3 days, and then he had a poop, and prior to that, he hadn't pooped for 3 days. We think he's allergic to his formula. It's so complicated. I have become obsessed with poop. The texture, the color, the frequency. It's all I think about or talk about. And I talk about it with other parents who are equally enthralled and definitely want to discuss it. But I don't want to forget that when people try to talk about things like this to me before I was a parent, I'd be like, oh, that's great. Oh, poop, really? A mustard yellow. Fascinating. But inside I was like, shut up. Okay. All right. Sam, on a recent vlog, you showed us one of your paintings. Is that the only one you painted, or do you have more of your creations? There's several of my paintings in the house. I think I showed you the Viewmasters series. I think there's something else that I showed you. And, of course, recently I showed you the 3 little paintings that I did a couple of weeks ago for Cooper's room, the cow, the sheep, and the pig. Those don't really count as great works of art, I don't think. Well, none of mine do, actually. But, no, I did those in just a couple of hours one morning. But they're adorable. If you haven't seen them, look back because they're quite cute. Anyway, Sam, I'm going to be in LA sometime this summer for vacation, and I've been asking people where to go. What's your favorite place in LA? Well, you must, you don't do the touristy things. You must go to the beach. You must go to the Santa Monica Pier. You must go to Venice Beach. Very fun. I recommend that you go to Doheny Mansion. People aren't going to know about this. It was the mansion of the Dohenys. In fact, that movie, that Daniel Day-Lewis movie, I think was basically a lot based on Doheny, except it left out some of the scandal. Anyway, the mansion now is owned by the city, and it's sort of a park. You can go up there and have lunch, take a picnic, but you can look in the windows, and it's a gorgeous house. And it's just great grounds to be on. And you overlook the city. It's very beautiful. Do the tourist things. Go to Hollywood Boulevard. Go to Grandma's Chinese. Go to Pink's for hot dogs. The great stuff. And, of course, if there's not an In-N-Out Burger where you live, we have them here, and they're the greatest food ever created. Sam, I grew up in a Southern Baptist household in Texas. Ooh. When I was 18, my parents discovered my homosexuality, and I was forced to move to New Jersey on my own. No one should ever be forced to move to New Jersey. No one should move to New Jersey at all. That's where people are born and leave. It's not where they go. Forced to move to New Jersey. What were your other options? It is now 6 years later, and my dad was recently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I understand his fate. But I'd like to know how you would handle this situation. My heart wants to make up for all the time we never spent together in a relationship we never had. Well, you cannot create a relationship if he doesn't want one, obviously. But you know what? Family is family. And I know I've only had a little boy for 2 weeks now. And I can't imagine anything in the world that would keep me from wanting to be with him and loving him and knowing him. And he doesn't even speak yet. So maybe your father's disease has awakened something in him. People are stubborn. Southerners are stubborn. Baptists are very stubborn. And Texans are the most stubborn of all. I suggest that if you want it, you open the door again and you say, I love you and I want to know you more. And I want us to have time together. Be prepared for him to reject you. But also know that it's possible that he may have learned something from this experience and maybe his heart is open in a different way. It just comes from his ignorance. Give him another shot. And let us know what happens, all right? Let me know what happens. I wish the best for you. I hope that... I love that as the people who are the ones who are pushed out of the door, the people who are, extricated, are the ones who came back and say, I want to know him, I love him. Isn't that interesting? Well, that's because you have a good heart, my friend. Although, get out of New Jersey. All right. Have you ever done any prank calls? Well, yes, I have. When I was in junior high, I did a horrible thing with my friend Curtis Davis. My friend, these girls were staying at my friend Terry Mullins' house, and we knew that they were staying there without any adults there. And so we went to the corner 7-Eleven and we called them and said, is your father there? And Terry was like, yeah, he's sleeping. And we're like, no, he's not. We know he's not there. And so we went to the house and we synchronized our watches. And on the we started scraping things on the screens, and the girls were really getting freaked out. And then Curtis went to the back door, I went to the front, and we synchronized our watches, and in 15 seconds we both rattled on the doors. Those girls came jumping out of windows and screaming at the top of their lungs. The police came, all the neighbors came out. We were like, it was a joke, it was a joke. It was horrible. I would never do that. Another joke that I did that was really terrible is at Boy Scout camp, we had this gigantic water moccasin had been killed in the lake, and I brought it back, and I punctured 2 holes in my neck, or in my arm or something, so there were blood, and laid the gigantic 6-foot-long snake over me. It was headless. It had been chopped off. And then when my tent mate came in, I kind of wiggled so it slithered over me, and it looked like it had just bit me and left. He completely freaked out. It was an ugly thing. I haven't ever scared anybody since then. Yeah, well, not on purpose. Okay. Oh my God. God! Sam, I know how you put a positive spin on almost any event. I think that outlook is very important because we only have one life to live. How did you learn to be so positive? By the way, in one of the videos, I saw you eating in a restaurant, a Silver Star restaurant with Liza. I've eaten there too. I love their food. I don't know where you got that video. There's been some videos around YouTube of me in places with Bridget and with Liza, of like people sneaking things. It's very peculiar. Stalky, weird. Okay, how did I become so positive? Because I think I made a choice as a young kid. When I heard negativity, and I heard negativity from adults, and I heard sort of an attitude of doom and gloom, and that life is full of disappointments and a difficult place to be. The world is a difficult place to be. And at some point, I don't know what, I think I made a conscious decision of don't let this happen to you. That as long as I'm here, I couldn't look at it that way. Now, granted, I went through a lot of great depressions and fought with a lot of demons through the years over different things. But ultimately, I think I tried to put out a positive attitude even when I didn't always believe it myself. And in fact, I think that was part of it. I think in choosing songs and choosing words and choosing a spirit of goodness and optimism, I think I was trying to heal and forgive myself and find optimism in the world by putting it out there. Sometimes I think you don't have to have a quality to put it out there. You actually attain the quality by putting it out there. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. Although now I can tell you completely 100%, certainly in the last few years when I've been sober, I really am. I think the world is perfect. Even though the difficulties, even the obstacles are things that are perfect. And I can look at them in retrospect and see how exactly they lined up in order to make for perfection. So if I know that in retrospect, then I must trust it in the present. Anyway, it's a faith thing. I can't believe how the time has flown. We haven't even gotten to all the Cooper questions. I feel like I'm going to have to do a part 2. Okay, Sam, what are the top 10 things in your life that bring you the most joy? The things that make you smile and rejuvenate your soul? Okay, let's see. Cooper, and Cooper. It's a Cooperfest right now. He brings me all the happiness there is. He brings me so much happiness. I just stare at him and stare at him and stare at him. In the first week, there were 150 pictures of this little baby that doesn't do anything. His eyes, he sleeps 22 hours a day. Oh my God. All right, I'm definitely going to do a part 2 because I haven't gotten to much. But maybe I'll post it on Tuesday. I don't know. Anyway, have a great day. Do something wonderful for somebody. Bye.
You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always